Patreon member shout out. But I knew I had to do, 'cause I'm so in love with you. Oh my love, please don't cry. Wash my bloody hands and we'll start a new life. I don't know much at all, I don't know what to do. All I know is that I love you tonight. Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve Omi update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Sorry about the no video yesterday. I did do a live stream to attempt to kind of get, at least some news flowing, but for the most part, it's just been a very, very hectic couple of weeks. It will be another hectic couple of weeks, but I will try to do this as often as possible. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that thanks button down below. So Omi is up around 0.2, 0.3%, which is not as good as Bitcoin, up about 0.5% over the last 24 hours, but did better than the NASDAQ, the S&P, and the Dow from yesterday from the markets. So we were outperforming them yet again. As far as volume, we did have the last 3 days we had 1.5, 1.6, and 1.6 million in average daily trading volume. Today that is down a little bit to like 880,000. And before then, it was about 880,000 as well. So we had a spike for a couple of days, a couple people put some money in, and then now there's not. Now it's just back to what it was. But I do think that over the course of the next couple of months, not only will we have more days that are over $1 million, we'll probably have multiple days, and that we're going to be a couple of $1 million in average daily trading volume. Again, if you want to try to get something at these prices and you don't want to move the market all that much, you could put in maybe up to 10% at any one time of the average daily trading volume. So if it's only 900,000, okay, you can maybe put up to 90K in at one point, and that might not move the market too much. But for the most part, if you're going to be putting in a couple $1 million, and this is my whale friends, you're going to have to either do it with bots, you're going to have to do it with or over a couple of days, or you're just gonna move the market. I mean, it wouldn't take that much to really move it from 0.00156 to 0.002. Could it go down? Absolutely. Depends what happens with Bitcoin, but for the most part, if I had more money, I would buy in right here. So moving on. So in the macro, we do have BigThink.com saying huge milestone passed as human subject wears augmented reality contact lens for the first time. Obviously, this is years and years away from it being mass-produced and having mass adoption, but it is on its way. I see that as being nothing but good for Veve and their digital collectibles. In other news, a new lawsuit alleging that Solana is a security could have big implications for the crypto investment landscape. I believe that in the future, there will be bills passed that will further regulate crypto, but I also believe that a lot of government regulation might center around the Ecomi team, around Veve, making them the measuring stick for what a good quality project is for NFTs, and what Omi might be as to, hey, this is what you need to do to not be a security. Just speculation. Speaking of Veve, we have a couple of non-operational states in the US that, for whatever reason, cannot process ACH. Doesn't say that they can't process wires, but just ACH, which is Connecticut, Hawaii, New York, New Hampshire, Texas, Vermont, and Virginia. It could depend on the bank, but those right now, we don't seem to be able to cash out fiat, at least via ACH, to your account from Veve. Also on Veve, we have Rewind Collective, which had posted on their Instagram saying, an hour 20 minutes left till the drop from makersplace.com. That's a party I went to a couple weeks ago. They have some more pixelated stuff, and then they do tag pixelated heroes, they do tag NFT, and they also tagged at Givenchy and Amar Singh, who is obviously partnered with Veve as well, so very, very good. As they market for their other NFTs, most people say, oh, hey, I wonder what other NFTs they have, and then they will stumble onto Veve. So I do think that is a good thing. And speaking of good things, we have Brock McBlockchain have a really, really interesting post saying, my challengers. And the challengers, for I assume the Feesh arena and the Feesh battles. You see a bunch of Feesh here. I don't think any of these are my Feesh. There's Sandra, there's Feesh, but there's a bunch of them. But you also have Ritmo, Spider-Man as a Marvel Mighty, you have Ghost Spidey as Marvel Mighty, you have Corsica, and you have Korra. And I'm not 100% sure what this means, but I think that you'll be able to have these guys in the Feesh arena. Now, you don't fight with the Feesh, the Feesh are in the mech suits and you fight with the mech suits. Maybe you could have some of these Mighties or Myrmicornos, maybe not fight with them, but have them in the mech suits and then have the mech suits fight. Again, I don't know. I'll ask him over on Wednesday. He'll be on the podcast, I think, at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday. I will get some more Feesh details as well. Can't wait for that. So in other news, Veve Digital Collectibles has posted that Veve Fam, another large batch of KYC and payout invitees is out. So please keep an eye on your inbox, junk mail, promo folder, etc. I think, and for those of you that are saying that, oh, only YouTubers got it, Wendy Stibalis doesn't have it, Mark Helm doesn't have it, there's a couple of whales that I know that don't have it. It's just random. It's just complete. There was like 3 different rounds of people getting it before I got it, and I'm one of the biggest. So they do continue on and say, here is a resource page with links to everything you need to know. That's payout and all that. It is relatively simple, but again, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. If you have a passport, use your passport as your ID verification. Do not use your driver's license, because if you use your driver's license as your ID verification, you cannot use it for your address verification. So passport is the ideal way to go for that particular one. Moving on. I did a video about this the other day, but shout out to my Patreon members for sending me a mug with my face on it. That is absolutely beautiful. So also, I mentioned Brockman Blockchain before and the Feesh. Okay, so Feeshes they just posted just swept the airdrop floors and took 10 times the airdrops off, or took 10 airdrops off the floor. We'll be giving these 10 airdrops on the Feesh cord in a few minutes. And again, this was yesterday, so I apologize for not making the video. But he continues on saying, that's right. The royalties come in form of secondary. We spend them sweeping the floor and then give them right back. So what Brockman Blockchain does here is, just breaking this down, when you have, and this incentivizes, I think, people to not sell for cheap amounts, to keep them up. And it incentivizes people to go and just get a Feesh. Why? Because you get airdrops every single month. And then you could just list it for the floor, and then it could get bought, and then so not only do you get a free airdrop, but you could sell that, make some money, and then you have the chance of getting it back because he does re-give it to so you could possibly get your own Feesh again. It's like a buddy of mine, Wayne, that had he had a horse. He sold the horse for like $20-something thousand, and then the horse is just given to him again like years later. He's like, well, I just got this horse for free that I sold for $20,000 a few years back. So that's similar to what you could do here. And, I only have 3 Feesh. Should I get more? Probably. Am I advising a bunch of my whale friends to get some? Yes, absolutely. Why? Because even though right now there's really no money in it unless you go and do the matches that are ranked and you bet Omi and you do that. But that's, there's 2,500 Feesh that have gone on and been bought or minted, and they've done absolutely no marketing. And there's content, I think, for at least the next 12 months, if not the next 18-24. He's very busy with that. And even though this is a passion project, Brock has worked out the yin yang. He doesn't need to do this. It's just something that's fun. And when you have somebody like that is just doing this for fun and he's putting it his all into it, you can't tell me that there won't be profits in the future. Again, I specialize in things that are undervalued, and price is what you pay, value is what you get. You're paying for Feesh, and there's literally, it's such a small amount, and the value of what you get, like a tank and a mech suit and all these airdrops and rewards when you go and have some ranked battles. You don't even have to win the ranked battles, but you get a piece of the prize pool, even if you don't win. So moving on from that. We had a stamp drop today. I got a rare. I really want the whole set. Shout out to @WetWizardVeve on there that got secret rare number 1776. No, he didn't get it on the drop. He bought it. But David Yu had tweeted, "Classic stamps is how I got into collecting. I'm all in for this drop." When David Yu says he's all in for a drop, it's probably a good thing to buy. Not financial advice. Not a financial advisor. Also, it was reported yesterday that Canada's entire banking system was offline for a little bit, but Canadians could still use Bitcoin. Can't tell me that this ain't the future. Moving on here. We have a person on Instagram by the name of Dubsy Collection, and we have a bunch of mutual followers here, about 65 of them. And why this is important is because this is the person that had a hand in the deal with Logan Paul, with the PSA 10 Pikachu Illustrator. And again, about that card, that particular card that Logan Paul spent millions of dollars on, 5.3 I think to be exact, was a PSA 9 at one point. And this is important because this card was not just given to PSA and says, nope, this is a perfect 10, perfect gem mint, it deserves it. It was graded a 9 at one point. And PSA, for those of you who don't know, 1 is the worst, 10 is the best. But there are in-between grades. There's a 1.5, 2.5, etc., up until you get to PSA 8.5. Then it goes to PSA 9, and then there's no 9.5. It's either a 9 or a 10. And there are many, many, many cards that sit in between that 9 and 10 grade. And it's just whoever you get that day, it is just potluck. That particular one that Logan has was a PSA 9 at one point. They broke up the case, got it regraded, and it's one of those things that's in between that grade. And why this is important is because Logan Paul spent $5.3 million on this, and it wasn't even a like true PSA 10. I mean, it is now, but there is some ambiguity, whether it's the, a little whitening on the sides or the edges have some edge wear, whatever it is. And again, why I say this is important is because not only did this guy Dubsy Collection have a hand in this, but so did Jeremy Padour. And if you have that, Logan Paul and Jeremy Padour, Logan Paul has Veve NFTs. Almost 100% positive he has Omi. Like, I'm 99.999% sure that he has Omi. But so does Jeremy Padour. And then this guy, who happens to be in the deal as well, which happens to, be in Dubai, have an amazing collection. You can't tell me that during that whole time they wouldn't talk about other collectibles. They wouldn't talk about Veve. They wouldn't talk about Omi. Like, I can't believe that wouldn't come up. Again, that is just my opinion. So Jessica Lesson has gone on and tweeted, "Who's buying public tech stocks in this market? Well, venture capitalists, that's who. And they make sure to note that Andreessen Horowitz buys 1 million shares of Block at $135 a share, and that was earlier this year." Andreessen Horowitz, where have I heard that name before? Maybe it was having the deal with Every Realm and Janine Yorio, who I'm going to have on the podcast on Thursday. Really interesting about Andreessen Horowitz buying that. I'm just throwing that out there. Moving on. Brock McBlockchain does go on in his Feesh Cord saying, "I sure hope the real Randy Chavez doesn't pull more details out of me on Wednesday." And he says, he doesn't say/tease things unless I know I can do them. I'm doing work now to move more swiftly later, and there will be limitations, etc. I don't have access to 3D models for these characters, so I do have to do some creative things. I think he was talking about the Mighties and stuff like that. Another quick update from him. He says, "Hey everyone, just a quick update. This next week, I'll be on the Real Randy Chavez podcast on Wednesday at 4 to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be recorded if you can't make it. Also, Friday is our monthly snapshot. I've done tons of updates to the game, and it should be way more stable than it has ever been. Still more updates to come, but we're in the final stretch. You may have also seen a screenshot floating around the Feesh #sneak peeks channel. That's probably nothing. Also, radio towers. Probably nothing there too. I've got a lot of extras I'm working on, but do want to say how much I appreciated all you friends joining this wild journey. We're still just getting started, but we're in the final 50 Feesh for the sub 2500s. I think that's pretty much done now. It says, next we'll begin our climb to the sub 5000 perk. The accessories for the sub 1000 perks are under active development now. Once I feel they're ready, I'll do that airdrop. Hope you have a great weekend. Lots of fun ahead. Biting tongue intensifies." And moving on. Also, there should be some physical Marvel Mighties over at the Comic-Con. That's something I might want to get. I'm just saying. And speaking of other stuff on the markets, we have Venkatesh the Innovator. It says, "Greetings from London at Epico Regal at Akomi. Check out our special character this quarter." And their special character kind of looks like David Yu. David Yu liked it. I thought that was really interesting. Anyway, guys, that's it for me today. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone, please check out at HeyDavidDon and at KingMavsForever over on the Twitter. Standoff Chart and King Mavs over on the Veve app. Kobe Collects and OmiPlayer1 over on the YouTube. RayTax.eth domain name. Kyle Willson, Wendy Stibalis, Puddin' Cheeks, BB Las Vegas, Taps Trades, Mars Davis, Legacy Bermuda, Sody Pop Media, Veve Darklink, Metal Lemon, and Veve Vibes, all on the YouTube. At Nomad with Guitar, at Wet Wizard Veve, and Gary O at 1234CA3, all on the Twitter. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow, meow, meow. Check out my Mario shirt. Meow.